Hello? Nah. What's up? I can't remember what I say. I've got it. What's happening, guys? My name is Jamie. This is the Norwich Reptile Shed. I think I've remembered how to do a video. So in this video, I'm going to give you a little update into what's been going on, what we've been up to, how some of the vivariums are doing, and just a general kind of who's here, who's alive, who maybe died, yeah, some other kind of exciting stuff that I've been doing out in the garden that might interest some keepers that are into their tortoises and other such things. Okay, so we'll start off in this kind of area as to what is going on over here. So, pretty obvious, we have an empty vivarium down there. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. I haven't done a video on here yet, but Rocky, the bearded dragon, has sadly passed away. He was 15 years old when we took him in. He was in a pretty awful vivarium. I do have a video right back when I first took him in, showing his vivarium, and then we built this 4x2, kitted it out, had it all nice and cool, and he lived in there for 2 lovely years, and had loads of fun with him. But he was an old guy. I was always expecting one day to wake up and he had passed, and that was the case with him. So yeah, kind of went off his food, and you know, before we even knew it, really, he had passed away. So that's really sad, because he was a nice big character in the shed, big lizard. So, well, not big lizard, but you know, the biggest lizard I have, and he is now not with us. So this has been empty for ages. I haven't really gotten around to clearing it out until recently. So I have started, and that's all nice and clean, ready for the great switch around. Above this, we have got the leopard gecko vivarium. Now, I'm going to be doing a video very soon about the leopard geckos. Here she is. Hello. She is celebrating her 10th birthday this week. So I'm going to do a video based on this vivarium, how it's been going, did it work, did it not, leopard geckos, how are they doing, all that kind of stuff. But over here I've had a bit of a switch around, and as you can see, I've got an old 3-foot vivarium, which had been empty for a while, and that is sort of on its way out of the shed. Just got to strip the equipment off of it, and then that can go. But this being empty is now means that one of these guys can go into this vivarium, and it's going to be the false water cobra. He can go into there, and that can be his home for quite a while. 4x2 for a fairly small false water cobra, so he'll be fine in there. And then that leaves me with quite a big space here, and an empty vivarium. So what my plan for this vivarium is, this is going to be a holding vivarium for the Boiga cyanea that I've got in the lounge in our house. I'm going to be building a new vivarium in the house, custom vivarium, custom size, nice big arboreal one. So I haven't done an arboreal build since this bad boy. Obviously we've been doing 6x3s and all that sort of stuff, so I haven't done an arboreal build for a while, so that's going to be hopefully quite exciting. Obviously I'm going to film the process and all that stuff, but we've got a bit of work to do first. We've got to kit this vivarium out. I'm going to do nothing particularly fancy with this, just quite a standard bioactive naturalistic setup for one, probably no big custom background or anything like that. So that's just going to be like that, and then this can be stripped out, cleaned, and then the Boiga Cynia can go in there. So that's where we are at with that. What's next? So next up, another video that I did, one of the last videos I did was installing this misting system. Now, as I said in the video, it's not the best misting system you can get out there. I will be installing a misting system to do kind of like all of these vivariums all in one go. So this was kind of just a trial in here just to see how it would get on, and actually it's done really well. So amongst all the kind of dead bits of this grapevine, grape ivy, I have got loads of new bits. So loads of new growth there, which I'm really happy about. I've also got loads of new growth down here on this plant. And what else? This has popped up. And the rhododendron is doing good as well. Bless it, it does try. It's constantly being sat on by Hector. So that is coping. So that's really cool. So this thing hopefully is going to continue to grow. And it just means having this watering system means that I can get the environment a little bit better. If I forget to water something, it's covered by the system. And then the only thing I've noticed with this system is even with two nozzles, it's fairly weak. So there is quite a fine mist comes out. And up here, where are we? I don't think we can even see. Oh. One of this nozzle here actually popped out, and so for a couple of days it was just a constant stream of water coming down. So that popped back in. Cheap nozzles, cheap misting system. What do you expect, I suppose? But yeah, this is all good. Nothing really else to report. Now that the temperatures are building up again in the evenings, I'm starting to see the millipedes come back out. So I've actually got olive millipedes in here. Some of them sort of are between like 15 and 20 centimeters long. So that's really cool. And I have got some adults in here. If anyone remembers, maybe last year, certainly on Instagram and the YouTube Shorts, I definitely had millipedes. I can't see any, but I used to have millipedes climbing up and stuff like that. So that was really good. Yeah, so this has sort of sprung back into life really thanks to the misting system and the new jungle dawns and everything like that. So really happy with everything going on inside the Royal Vivarium. So this was one of the last videos I did as well, and this is Piggy in her enclosure, and this is done really well. Really happy with it. She's on it, aren't they all? So yeah, this Piggy's enclosure has been doing great. To be honest, there isn't much in here that could go wrong. It's a naturalistic enclosure. At the end of the day, it's not full of live green plants that can die or anything like that. So yeah, Piggy's good. Piggy's always good. Absolutely awesome little snake. So you coming out? You're nuts, aren't you? Absolutely prey driven to the max. But yeah, so she's been doing great. This vivarium always looks cool. Love it all lit up. And yeah, so got no issues with that one. And then just sort of moving along, we have got the lion day gecko vivarium. This has been doing fine. No problems with the lion day gecko. And next to it, this sad terrarium here is my assassin bug terrarium. Unfortunately, the numbers just started dying off, and I was trying to work out what was going on. There was eggs all the time, babies all the time, and it turned out I had jumping spiders inside here, just normal like British ones. They were inside here and they were eating the nymphs, and I would catch. Once I started to spot that, I would then go sort of see weekly, I would see a new nymph being eaten by a jumping spider. There'd be jumping spider nests inside here and everything. So I stripped the whole thing down in the hope that I could save the colony. And I've moved the colony into a faunarium, and I'm breeding them in here. with the hope that one day I will rebuild this. I've spent weeks, months going through as eggs hatch, taking the nymphs out, putting them in the faunarium, and then I've just got to figure out, although this is all sealed up, I've got to figure out how the spiders got in and how I can stop them doing that in the future. So the problem with these terrariums is they are not tiny insect proof, tiny bug proof. There are gaps, and I'll try my best to kind of fill little gaps like this with silicone, little dots of silicone, but the things can get through the vents, at the back. Now that's all siliconed up as well, but there's access. There might even be a hole in the mesh for the original misting system or lighting or something like that. That is just, yeah, these are great, but they do let in the occasional spider, and in this case, that was the problem with this vivarium. So just an update on the 6-foot vivariums. I haven't planted them up as heavily as I did last year, but I've got a few things kind of growing in here. Pointless growing anything with Mr. Pine because he just flattens it. And then, yeah, we've got a few bits in here. The female force water cobra, her one is doing great. That's never had anything but Carex grass in it up there. And this, I threw a Scandens in, which is doing okay. But I'm actually yet to get the LED system on. I just keep forgetting to buy another extension lead and get all these timed separately. So that is a job on the list to be done. And then next on the list, really in here, that's a major job, are these Boiga vivariums. So I really want to strip one down and rebuild it and start again. Get rid of the bamboo background, put a rock background in, improve my lighting, have a proper halogen basking spot, night heat, and everything like that. Redesign the whole thing. These were the first vivariums I built in the shed before I started the channel. So there's a lot to change on these things, and I would like to go through, start with one, strip it down, rebuild it, learn from that, and then move on to the next two. If you don't know, I've got Boiga Cynodon in there, Boiga Cynea, the male, Boiga Cynea, the female. So, and they are doing great, but I've actually got the new Reptile Systems Eco Halogen up there. It is a quite hot day today, so that has turned off, but yeah, it's back on now. So, but yeah, these are next on the list for major improvements. So, yeah, when I get time, these guys will be next on the list. Right, so what else have we been up to that's taken me out of the reptile shed? And that has been the stuff in the garden, general life as well. I'm not going to go too much into life stuff at the on the video. But it's been quite a challenging month. Challenging few months. We've had our ups and downs and stuff going on that has just, although my reptile care, I try and make sure that is absolutely great. My videos and things like that, filming things that I'm doing, just generally, that's the first thing that I just cut out because I need to concentrate on other stuff. But we've been making some improvements outside, not necessarily stuff I'd like to make a proper video about, but I will show you in this video because I've been growing stuff outside for Daisy, and I've got a whole new system, and I'm going to go and show you it now. Hello duckies. Right, so out here in the garden we should find Daisy. There's old Daisy. Oh, she's just down there at the moment. So obviously for years I've been covering this enclosure for Daisy. It is full of stuff that she can eat, but it's not completely full of stuff that I can cut down every day and feed her. A few things are in here that she only eats the flowers of. So as you can see, at this time of year, sort of late spring, we're not going to have much flowering stuff. The Lavatera hasn't flowered yet. The roses haven't flowered yet. So I haven't got much food in here that she can just graze on. So we've had another idea, and this is it. We have got a greenhouse. We've actually redoing this whole area. We're gonna have a nice patio here, and Daisy has got her own bed here, and she's gonna have another bed that comes out 4 foot across and then back to the wall, and these beds are going to be full. At the moment this is seeded, as well as all the plantain that I kind of saved from this area, as well as a new lavatiera, but this is seeded, and I'm going to be adding plants from the greenhouse as they mature from seedlings into there, and then in the next week or so I'm building a new bed here, which is just a new raised bed, and that will also feature seeds and a mixture of the plants. So let me take you into the greenhouse. As you can see, we've got the plantain, that's narrow leaf plantain, a lavatiera, and then I'll talk about what my theory is in here. So this year I'm really focusing on growing native wildflowers and plants to help our wildlife in the garden. And what I've done is I've kind of looked at all the native wildflowers and then seen which ones are safe for tortoises to eat, and that's kind of where I've gone with my decisions on what plants I'm going to grow. I've thrown in a couple of extra ones as well, stuff that isn't necessarily native, but it's still a good tortoise food, because it's not all about the nativeness for Daisy, but that is where I'm going with the stuff in the garden. So everything with a little star on it is safe for Daisy. So as you can see, I've got some oxeye daisies coming up there. They're a moderate feed, can't feed them all the time. We've got red valerian, which are all popped up, they're perfectly fine. Chicory, so that's fine. Up here we've got nothing apart from the that's bugle, which is a native wildflower, but I'm not sure that's gonna come up this year. That might be a next year thing. And then down here we have hollyhocks, which aren't a native flower but are really cool for tortoises, and I've got musk mallow, and this is the British native mallow that we get here in the UK, as well as we have got another musk mallow. This is the white one, so this should have purple flowers on it, and this should have white flowers on it, yeah, so that's my kind of theory. Been growing all these kind of plants out here. I also have some other stuff that she can eat. Saxifraga, that might not come up this year, and the dog violet, that might not come up this year. These both, by the time we got the greenhouse in and we started doing the seeds and stuff, a lot of these plants needed a cold snap to come up, yeah, we might have just missed that. So really they should have been sown in autumn, but we had no greenhouse in autumn, so what can you do? Yeah, so this is our little greenhouse. Me and my wife Kaylee, we've been absolutely loving it out here. Really cool space, really fun to doing plants. We're growing other stuff at the moment. Kaylee's got loads of cool stuff. I'm growing loads of lamb's lettuce back there for the ducks. Daisy can also have lamb's lettuce, but that's mainly for the ducks. And then yeah, my wife's growing loads of sunflowers. I'm growing my own mega sunflower. I'm secretly feeding that one more in the background, so it grows nice and big and strong and beats the rest of these. And then yeah, we've got some other stuff down here. So yeah, I'm really excited that we can kind of pull this out, pull plants out of this, and it's just going to be full of wild, mainly British native plants, but also just everything that Daisy can eat. Both of these, by the way, these aren't native, but yeah, the rest of the garden we're trying to keep fairly native planting, but making the exception for Daisy, because obviously, one, she isn't native, and two, we need to grow lots of plants to keep her fed and happy. So what I've actually planted in here are these scamper seeds from the Norfolk Tortoise Club. You can get these off of their eBay shop or at any of their events that they do, and that is just yeah, all tortoise safe plants that I've just scattered in here, as well as obviously this stuff and some dandelion seeds and just other tortoise friendly plants. So yeah, we've got a lot of work to do down here, which is obviously taking me out of the reptile shed. But you know, there's a balancing act between all of this stuff. Daisy is now up and about. Here she is. She's doing really well. Yeah, we'll head back into the shed and wrap this up. So I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. Just a little update as to what's going on in the shed. It's not tons and tons of progress, and it certainly isn't going as quick as maybe the last previous years have gone. But as I've always said on this channel, things are going to slow down a bit as I get the shed to kind of where I imagined it. Now I still have more vivariums to build. I've still got a lot to do on the left hand side now that we've finished all the 6 foots, but progress on that's going to be slower because the animals housed in the vivariums at the moment are all in fairly suitable sized enclosures, so anything going forward is just an upgrade. Obviously I've got the Boiger stuff to do, but again that's an upgrade. I'm not changing the space, I'm just changing the way I build the decorate the enclosures and fit all my equipment. But that is quite a major one to strip out, and I'm building some stuff in the house. So I've still got videos coming up, and I thank you so much for your support. It's been amazing just to see the continued support from people on Patreon, people liking my posts, people watching the little shorts that I put up, just little tidbits every now and again, just to kind of keep me going until I can get the motivation and the time to do like a big video. The next big video is going to be an update on the leopard gecko vivarium, because I don't think I've really come back to that since I did the original build video for it. So I think that should be pretty interesting to see what is what's changed, what I've enjoyed about it, how the leopard geckos are doing, and if I would do anything differently in the future. So that one's coming up, as well as all the Boiger builds, and yeah, and a brand new custom plywood vivarium for in the lounge. So yes, stuff is coming. Thank you very much, guys. If you would like to support the channel, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe button. It's probably a good time now to go back and check out the 80 or 90 videos that I've done previously to this, that covers tons of builds leading up to this update video. And if you want to support the channel even more, you can head over to Patreon, where for £2 or £3 a month I can list your name at the start of each video, and you also get early access to the videos when I put them up as well. Thank you very much, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. I'm typing.